Hey, sorry folks, I look like I'm underwater. So, I wanted to give my thoughts on Joyner Lucas's I'm Not Racist. I want to point out that I think with what's going on right now, see, the time the video came out, it was very relevant and important. Right now, it's no more so than it was. And when it came out, it was no more so relevant than it was 5, 10, 15 years before that. My point being, this isn't a new problem. And nothing happened lately that made it more of a problem. What happened lately is more people are paying attention to a problem, which makes this content, in my opinion, significant right now, but only because there's more ears available. So, the music video in particular starts with a very piercing image of our Make America Great Again cap wearing white character, voiced by Joyner Lucas, staring at you directly with fixed eye contact and a close-up profile of the face. One of the first things I notice is that the white character in this is the first one to have his verse. I believe this implies that the initiation was conducted by the white individual, where the black individual had to sit there and take it and listen, which I believe is reflective of how things played out in reality. We notice that the environment they're in, the walls are all completely white, and it appears like an institutional environment. I think that this is not a non-deliberate decision. In fact, the windows are barred off as well, which I know could be a coincidence. It's not an uncommon thing. But I don't think the brick-walled, white interior, barred window location, where we have the power differential with the first speaker, is a coincidence. Now, the fact that this conversation is happening begins sitting at a table as a conversation and face to face, I think is interesting for the aim of the video, because I think a lot of the time this sort of ranting or this sort of espousing of views or this sort of narrative is expressed not face to face, especially not between two people of opposing ideology in this kind of manner. So the video is also with the non-detailed walls, the lack of anything anywhere, highlights the only colorful figures in the frame, which is the two individuals having a significant conversation intimately. So I feel that the white man begins his verse a bit more conservatively as far as the outright hate is concerned, or I should say hostility. But as he escalates, he stands on his feet, he proceeds to cross over beyond the pillars that are framed in the shot to separate the two sides. Unfortunately, when he crosses the side, it's not for a positive reason, but for a brief moment to express hostility. So the white character in this shot goes about expressing his feelings. He misunderstands the complexity and psychology associated with, or that may be overthinking it in some cases, but he expresses a lack of understanding of jewelry and other nice material things, to which the black character proudly shows or owns what he owns and what he's acquired for himself in this world freely. So after the transition to the black character, I get another long shot of a rising divider. Now, the black character becomes a little bit more aggressive in terms of like knocking the cap off or flipping the table. I think this is because he sat there and listened to and took all of the initiation, all of the hostility perpetrated first. And the second verse is a reactive verse. It's a self-defense verse. Now, where the first verse started sitting down calmly, no opposition, became aggressive and hostile, and then sat down, he begins by denying the black man's rebuttal, and as the black man continues making points, you see the white man scratching his beard in consideration and thought. I think that for some people, this point of the video is where we are in the world. At 4 minutes 14 seconds, when the white man is holding his beard like this and considering the words and why this person is upset, I think that's reflective of our society right now in some ways. As you continue to the end of the video and you see their hug, you see them listen to each other, want to hear each other. And this hasn't happened. When Joyner Lucas made this video, I believe it reflected society up until just before, where the white character went like this. The fact that recently there's increased attention let me rewind that a bit. There's plenty of people who have had mixed feelings, thought one thing or another, that are the same or not the same before and after what's taking place now. However, there's been a significant increase in global attention in all walks of life to problems that have been around for a very long time. And when Joyner Lucas made this video, those problems had already been around, hence him making the video, were around when he made the video and are still around. When he made the video, collectively, societally, we hadn't reached the stage yet as a whole where the white character being portrayed had that expression. The end of the video is an embrace and a message. We aren't there yet, but we're about 2/3 through this video playing out in real life, and when it was released, we were about halfway through. I believe that this video can serve as a proxy of real life if things go in the direction that they should. What's his line at the end there? You can't erase a scar with a bandage. It's absolutely true. See, in an ideal world, you take two people can come to an agreement on a misunderstanding by putting a bandage on it, sure. But if you're asking the entirety of the United States, of North America, of the world, to come to understanding, if you're asking Sunni and Shia Islamists in a location where they're subject to or engaged in civil warfare, perhaps from birth or from multi-generational conflicts, street gangs where revenge killing flare-ups kill your brother, and you have a face of the perpetrator in front of you. That's not an ideal world. These two in this video by Joyner Lucas didn't use a bandage to come to an understanding. They just let it all out. But they listened to each other, and they embraced after, and they tried to understand. That's reality. We need to come to an understanding. I think finally we're getting closer to that. We can't take our finger off the pulse and stop. Joyner Lucas, thank you. You weren't ahead of your time. You made this about a problem that existed and has existed. I hope in hindsight, everyone can recognize that they are too late to act, but take solace and pride in the fact that they finally did act.